Putting pressure on police, our top story this hour surrounding the July 4th shooting death of James Garcia. Officers were called out to investigate an assault and found Garcia, you might recall, sitting in his car, Yetta.
According to police, Garcia refused to talk to officers, rolling up his window and then grabbing his gun. Police say as he refused officers' commands, Garcia pointed the gun at them, and that's when he was shot and killed.
Yeah, Chief Williams is now asking the FBI to conduct a civil rights investigation into the shooting, and she shared her support yesterday of releasing all relevant video and audio of the incident as quickly as possible. So Javier is live at police headquarters this morning with the police chief right now. Javi.
Yeah, good morning, Scott. And by now, many people have seen that video that was shot from a neighbor as police surrounded that vehicle on July 4th. I want to turn to the chief right now and ask her, because you mentioned it, Scott, you have now called for a civil rights investigation, asking the FBI to launch one. Was there something concerning you saw that warranted that?
So great question and good morning. Thank you very much for talking to me today. So it wasn't anything necessarily that cautioned me or raised a red flag, but at the end of the day, there are individuals in the community calling for an extra set of eyes and an independent investigation, and the FBI was the way to go. This is what they do. It would be their normal course of action. And I think it's important for me to practice what I preach. I keep saying that I'm not afraid of an extra set of eyes. I'm not afraid of oversight. Why not ask the FBI to come in and look at this investigation? And I'm doing it for a myriad of different reasons. One, to provide just as an extra set of eyes. Also, to provide calm, hopefully provide calm in some aspects of the community so that the men and women who are either the call takers in 911 or those showing up on scene responding to calls for service, that individuals in the community know that we are about transparency and accountability.
Activists have called on you to release the body camera footage.
Yes.
Earlier this week, you released a snippet. Why release the snippet, not the entire video?
Great question. We were trying to counter misinformation that was out there indicating that the individual in the car did not have a gun. And as we were working through the process of the investigation and reviewing body-worn camera footage, we found the body-worn camera where the officer did remove the gun in the attempt to provide medical aid also to the individual in the car. So we have to counter the misinformation that's out there. I'll be honest with you, Javi, I want to get in the process of being able to release that body-worn camera footage earlier. As you know, we have a policy that initially said that we were going to release information in 45 days. 45 days is too long. So as a result, we are working towards that 14-day process, keeping in mind that we're still interviewing witnesses, we're still interviewing people who are on the scene, and I won't jeopardize the investigation because people are calling for me to do something faster than we're ready to release.
I want to talk to you about another case, Dion Johnson. Phoenix Police just wrapped up that investigation that took place. You took it over from DPS. What can you share now that you've turned that over to the county attorney's office?
That it was turned over to the county attorney's office.
And that's so.
People keep asking us questions to release things with the immediacy. We still have a responsibility to properly investigate for everyone's peace of mind.
Let me ask you about the current climate. Okay. After the George Floyd death, there has been a cloud of suspicion where it seems the public does not trust the police department. How difficult does it make the jobs of the police officers out there day in, day out when they're faced with that scrutiny?
So that's an interesting question. It does make it very challenging. But I won't say all of the public doesn't trust law enforcement. I will not subscribe to that theory. There are some people who don't trust us. And at the end of the day, that's something that we have to live with every single day, every single contact. We live to build that trust. The men and women who work with me, whether, again, the 911 operators or the police officers out on the street or those individuals on the tactical response unit line, they still come to work, Javier, wearing their mask, wearing things, and still providing great service to our community. So it is not unique for us to have challenges in this profession, but we rise to the occasion all the time. We adjust, we learn, we improve. And we work to make this the best police department in the country.
Yesterday, Attorney General William Barr said, and I quote, "I do not think it is a widespread phenomenon, or I do think, rather, that it is a widespread phenomenon that African-American males in particular are treated with extra suspicion and maybe not given the benefit of the doubt." That speaks to systematic racism. Do we see that here within the Phoenix Police Department?
So you would hear individuals in the community saying that. I don't believe that. I know that we train against that. I know we hire people against that. I know that there are men and women out there of all ethnicities, of all genders, who day in and day out walk the line of treating people with dignity and respect. And as a matter of fact, that's part of our pride statement. That's part of our mission statement. So I don't agree with that. I will say that what we see in social media day in and day out are interactions with law enforcement, with males of color or people of color that have been challenging to us. So we are going to have to be forced to change and adjust and improve. But that improvement and that changing and that adjusting happens every single day with every single stop and with every single contact.
Well, we thank you very much for being so open and being available
Thank
to
you.
talk with us, especially during this current climate,
Right.
as well as what's going on in several cases. So, guys, that's it directly from Phoenix Police Chief Jeri Williams. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, we really appreciate the police chief being candid about what's going on in the department.